Good evening. Welcome to Sierra Vista's Town Hall. Woo! We're so glad you could make it and you're watching. My name is Colleen Myers. I am the principal of Sierra Vista, and I just wanted to take a minute and explain why we're doing this. We're wanting to get some information out to our parents and families about distance learning and how this year is going to look. So we invite you. We have a phone line that you can call if you have questions. I got some from email that we'll answer in our presentation, but that phone number is 630-6320. So I'm going to open up, I'm going to introduce Tammy Ortiz, my assistant principal. Go ahead, Tammy.
Hi, so I'm Tammy Ortiz. Many of you probably know me. I've been around the school for a while. Just so you know, I have a degree in biology from Boston University. I have my teaching credential from San Jose State, a master's from Grand Canyon University. And I'm really excited and very nervous for this school year. But just know you can call me anytime, email me, and I will do my best to support you and help you get through this. And I'd like to introduce Paula Jacob, our second grade teacher.
I'm Paula Jacob, second grade teacher. This is my fourth year at Sierra Vista. It's a great place to learn. It's a great place to work. It's a great place to be. I love my team and love the Sharks, and I'll be visiting with you in a minute.
Fantastic, and I'll give a more in-depth introduction to myself. So I've been with, I was at the Hollister School District for 19 years. I taught at Sierra Vista for 10 years. I taught at Gavilan Hills for 7 years. I taught at Calaveras for 1 year, and I was the Lad Lane assistant principal for 2 years. I'm just returning to Sierra Vista from the County Office of Education, where I was there for 4 years. And I'm excited. I've just finished my doctorate, so I'm excited to apply my leadership knowledge that I've learned and come back to Sierra Vista. I'm so excited. To my right, I have Evelyn Sackow.
My name is Evelyn Sackow. I'm the intervention teacher at Sierra Vista. I've been about 5 years, I believe, the intervention teacher. A las familias que hablan español, quiero decir bienvenidos a la Junta. Si tienen preguntas, hay un número que puede llamar 630-6320. 630-6320. Si tienen preguntas, y yo voy a estar contestando las llamadas.
All right, thank you, Evelyn. So she's going to be translating for us. She's going to jump over to the phone lines and answer questions as they come in. So I just wanted to start off with an explanation of distance learning and what we're doing this year. So this year we're going to do 100% online. You have two options, and Mrs. Ortiz is going to go over those two options. Hopefully you'll stay with us, but you have both of the options are for distance learning are 100% online. And teachers are going to be using the Google platform entirely. I know that that was a concern for security and privacy reasons. We're going to be using the Google platform for classes and communications. Parents should use Infinite Campus to stay on top of their students' progress and communication from the school, as well as Google Classroom. Those information on how to log in or create your parent portal will be included in a materials distribution on Friday. I'm excited about, I'm a silver lining kind of person. I'm excited about the distance learning because the online schedules are really going to allow for us to do an increased intervention model. So we're going to be doing, Ms. Jacobs is going to be explaining a typical day online and going over that, but you'll see that there's going to be, when you get your schedule from your parents or from your teachers, you'll see that there's opportunities for small groups, and we have a lot of folks on campus that their duties have changed, so we're going to be able to apply them to student learning and really do some really great intervention programs. So I'm excited about that, turning this into a win for us. It's really going to be addressing the learning loss. So I mentioned schedules. Schedules will be finalized and shared by Friday. Your teacher may have already reached out to you and shared, requested that your student logs into Google Classroom. But if you haven't heard from them, not to worry, we're still in transition. There's a lot of movement in rosters and schedules and whatnot. So as by Friday, you should know your answers. You'll see that we have a schedule that was sent out in the All Call and Messenger and on our website that has a staggered start times for different grade levels. This is for multiple reasons, two of which will help your student log in so that they don't have any, if you have older students, they can support the younger students getting logged in and start their day. And it also helps our teachers kind of stagger theirs, their start up, as well as help get our aides and our intervention folks into the right pockets at the right time. For the first 2 weeks are minimum days, and so just please expect that for all schools in Hollister School District. There will be 4 hours of instruction with a 30-minute lunch, so you can plan on that. That's going to be a good time for teachers to reach out and connect with families, so you can expect some communication about that. We expect challenges in this whole thing. There's a lot of uncertainties. There's a lot of unknowns, a lot of changes. We're going to decide one thing and then we'll have to go another. So let's just stick together and practice patience and understanding and know that we're all doing the best that we can during this. Let's see. So I had some questions about returning to school and what were the requirements. This was a question so that parents can kind of plan ahead. Just know that you'll be given at least 4 weeks of notice before we change, if we do happen to go back to on-campus learning. The board has decided on 4 evaluative points. They'll be looking in October to see, are we ready? Do we fit the criteria? And that would be a change for November. They're going to take another look in January and then decide then. They'll take another look in February to see if we're going to go back in March. If we don't go back to campus in March, then we're going to finish the year in online distance learning. Okay, so that hopefully that gives you some peace of mind, some planning ahead, organize your affairs with student supervision. Evelyn, did you have a question?
There is a question. Want me to read it?
Sure. Okay, are the start times flexible? Parents have 2 students starting at the same time. The start times are going to be a set time. Mrs. Jacobs is going to explain it in just a few minutes that it's going to be very different than it was in March, April, and May. We're going to go to a very structured, much like the school day was when we were in person. It's going to be the same as much as possible in online, in virtual meetings. So let's see, I think we'll jump over to Mrs. Ortiz. She is going to talk about RISE and distance learning.
So we have gotten a lot of questions, particularly online, about the difference between RISE and the distance learning model that will occur at Sierra Vista. So RISE is really for parents who prefer to just know my child is going to be online for the entire school year. Regardless of what happens with reopening schools, RISE is a program that's designed to be done online. You will get a support teacher that will support your child for 1 hour per week. I believe the platform is Edgenuity. You can go to I don't want to mess this up, ra.hesd.org for a lot of information about RISE. Again, that was ra.hesd.org. And that website will give you a ton of information about the RISE program. The distance learning at Sierra Vista is going to be monitored in terms of attendance. In fact, think of it just like school, except the classroom is happening at your house and the teacher is elsewhere. And so there will be a start time, there will be breaks, there will be a lunch. Students will do reading, students will do math and art, but they will have the support of a classroom teacher for 3 to 5 hours online. And Mrs. Jacob will explain in more detail what that would look like from a classroom teacher's perspective. But I do want to just say that your child's not going to be staring at a screen for 3 to 5 hours. Yeah, no. That would be brutal for anyone. Let me just check. Tardies will be marked at the 30-minute mark. After 3 days, phone calls will occur. We have a whole team of people that really, really want to support you and help you help your child be as successful as they can. So when we are phone calling, I want you to really take it as, hey, this is a group of people who really want to support you and giving your child the best education that we can. If your child's sick, please call in and report by phone or email. So that, just like normal. Did I miss anything?
Nope, I
Okay.
just wanted to clarify that after 3 days absences, then
Okay.
you'll get a phone call. Yep. Okay, Ms. Jacobs.
Well, so following up on what Mrs. Ortiz just said, we have a lot of making up to do. So in the interest of your children and just as all the caring staff here at Sierra Vista, we want to give your students the best opportunity to catch up and to learn everything they're supposed to this year. So we're trying to mirror pretty much what a normal day in the classroom might look like. So at school, when we're having your students come to school, we would say good morning and we would have lots of morning activities to welcome those students and make them feel welcome for the day. And that might also include attendance. It will include attendance. You said after 30 minutes? Yeah. So
Tardies will be.
Tardies after 30.
After 30.
So welcoming and group activities, group discussions, those happen on the virtual classroom the same way. We're just going to see little squares. So it's going to be a virtual classroom that we'll see those students. And then moving into language arts, it might look something like it would in the classroom. We would want to present information, present context, present skills to the students. We might be providing videos, we might be providing worksheets. We would do some mirroring, some work of this is how I do it, now let's do it together, now it's your turn to try it. And at that point, that might be a time that your student would be asked to just move away from the screen and sit and do some work independently. But I would be there unmuted where they could call out and get the help that they need so that we can support them the best way we can. So when Mrs. Ortiz was saying, we don't want kids staring at the screen for 5 hours. I don't want to stare at the screen for 5 hours. So I don't think I can do that. So we will incorporate small groups. So I think most of the teachers at Sierra Vista like to differentiate and give each student what they need individually. And this is a great opportunity for us to do that with the online learning because we get to have lots of time where kids can work independently and then we can have a small group working with us face to face. So when you think of the learning day, think of login time. So students will be logged in at their start time for 3 to 5 hours of the day, but they're not going to be face to face with the teacher. They may be face to face with the teacher during that whole group presentation of those skills. They may be face to face with the teacher if they're part of that small group that I mentioned, or they may be face to face with the teacher if they raise their hand and they have a question and they need some help and assistance. But other than that, there's going to be, just as in the classroom, times where they're working independently and by themselves, quietly at their desks with support of the teacher there on the computer if they need us. And we have a lunch break. There is also a small break in the morning.
I know, I know. It's so
I'm trying to talk
hard.
Sorry. So after lunch, then we would be moving into math, same thing. Whole group presentations with small group support. And again, those whole group times, this is when they would be face-to-face, and then small group, if they're in that particular small group, they would be face-to-face, otherwise they'll be working independently. Or maybe even doing a flipped version of a lesson, so a teacher may even have them tab over, which I know there's a lot of navigating skills that we're gonna have to teach kids, but maybe even just tabbing over and watching a video that we assign them, and then giving some feedback on a paper or a worksheet or something, and then coming back later with the teacher face-to-face. So there's gonna be FaceTime and not FaceTime, so they're not gonna be sitting on the computer face-to-face for 5 hours, so.
And if I could add to that, so I met with the TK and kindergarten, first grade teachers today, and I know that they're working on things like the dancing brain breaks and art. They're also, working on unique ways to start the school year with all those special bells and whistles that they always have done, but now they're going to be done in a unique and different way. In fact, today we were on the computer, the teachers were supposed to be there, I think, for 45 minutes, and the screen was on, and they were all working, and then they were talking to each other via Zoom. And I kept telling them, you guys can log off, and they continued to work because they were sharing ideas. And I think that's how it's gonna end up looking,
Right.
where your kids are engaged with each other just in a very unique way. But I want you to know, because I especially know those TK and K parents, because I was a TK/K parent once and a long time ago, but they are really working very hard to make the beginning of this school year special. So I just want you to know that.
And the best advantage for the TKs and kinders is that they don't know, unless they were in TK, they have no idea what it was supposed to be like. So we'll have to make sure that we support them and that this make it the best from it, because we know it should be different, but they don't know any different. So, excellent, thank you. So Paula, could you go over our little materials then? So I would encourage you, if you're a parent, to join our Facebook page, Sarah Vista Sharks, and we've created a commercial. We are lucky enough to hand out a personal learning station,
PLS.
a PLS, to every single student. Some may look different, but for the most part, everybody's gonna have a bin. And so I asked Miss Jacobs to bring her bin, her PLS, to kind of go over what's inside. And the idea behind it is a one place that you can throw all of your supplies in, including the Chromebook. This is big enough for the Chromebooks, chargers and whatnot. So if you are in a situation where you have to take your child to work with you or transport your child on a commute now or whatnot, you can grab the bin, everything's in there, and they're all set. Or if you need to go to grandma's and grandma doesn't have, room at her table because she's watching all the other kids, then this can easily be a spot where somebody could sit on their lap and use it as a work surface, put the Chromebook here, and they have their own place. Because I know that it would be difficult to have even all of us on different platforms online. So if we're spacing out kids, so they have to maybe sit on a bed or on the floor, then they can get their work done. So please,
So I'll give you just a
through.
quick tour. This is what we have so far. Again, the teachers, this is a work in progress, but for second grade, as just like any of the other grades, the materials that we're thinking that your students are going to need to be successful with learning are going to be included here. That might include math manipulatives. It is definitely going to include some necessities like glues and pencils and erasers and things like that. And crayons. They don't have to be scented. Then, of course, all of their textbooks, these are consumable for the most part. I think these are all going to be, it depends on the grade, how many of the text for close readings. This is for your language arts and reading. But these are books that you can have your students write in them. So you'll have your work books and your math books. In second grade, we have journals and some everyday writer assisted spelling books and your math Eureka materials. Again, these are consumables, so keep an eye out though. Make sure that you read the titles to make sure how long you're going to be using them. This is modules 1 through 3, so this is going to last us for a little bit. And the practice book is going to be sprints and other things, and you'll find out what those are. But this is modules 1 to 5, so they don't always coincide with one another. You'll be hanging on to one book a little bit longer than the other. So, and then, gosh, we'll be using these a lot. These are our personal whiteboards. So we're also in second grade going to include some work mats. We'll have math work mats, and we'll also have language arts work mats, so that we can save on paper and help the environment a little bit. But you just stick those pages right in here, and we'll be providing a dry erase pen and an eraser, and you can be reusing this. Kids will have a lot of fun with that.
Awesome. So we were so grateful to have Ace Hollister Ace Hardware help us out with this, and an anonymous donor provide these. So if I could put in a plug, shop at your local Ace Hardware. They support our children. Excellent. So we're super excited to have those. We're going to pass them out on Friday from 3 to 5. And we're going to try and have some teachers out there. It would be a great opportunity to drive by, and we'll have the parking lot and the bus circle. Just stay in line, stay in your car, drive through. We'll have somebody hand you the right bin. We can, point out your teacher, and then Sharky will be there, and we'll send you on your way. If you can't make it on Friday to pick up your bin, then we'll have office hours. We can make an appointment in the office, and I think some teachers might be scheduling a second round of pickup if we don't get all of our supplies. So keep an eye open for any communication from your teacher, and whether it be from Infinite Campus or in Google Classroom, so that you're all up and up. Also, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are constantly being updated, and our website, our fabulous website. There's some great resources on there. We have a distance learning hub. So in the event that your student has to go to somebody else's house or somewhere else to work and they don't have everything all together, they can jump on our website, and all the classroom links will be there. There's some resources for social emotional learning, because I know we're all in trauma right now, and we need to help each other get through it. And that should be it. So let's see. Any other things? I think we have a phone call coming in right now, so we'll wait for that.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes.
I
We
have
really appreciate you
I
coming.
have something for you.
Oh, great.
Okay.
We have Superintendent Ochoa. I didn't know if you wanted to come
You
and
know what?
join us.
I like these events.
Yes.
One thing that we do at all the sites, and I wasn't here except for just a minute ago, is I just like to give the staff a chance to just talk to the parents, because you have about 100 watching live right now. And each of our last 2 schools, they have almost 600 views in one day. So a lot of people are gonna see this, So what I do is I just kind of start with the person that's furthest away from me, and I say, you have these parents who are watching, and you're only a couple of days from starting school, so what's your message to them? What's the big thing you want to tell them as you get close to the start of the new school year?
So the big thing I would like to say is that I would like us to all view each other as a team. And so we've never done this before in a very formalized way. And I know, most of you have never done this in a formalized way. And so I really want to open up the communication channel so that you can tell us how to improve and that we can help you. We are 100% here for your children, and we really want to give you the support that you need to ensure their success. So again, do not hesitate to contact us via email, telephone, however you need to communicate with us, please do.
And then I'm gonna step out. Ms. Sackow's gonna come in and take my seat here. So as you do that, Evelyn, one thing I told the group while you were taking this last phone call was, at the end of the event, I'd like to ask everybody who's with us to basically just give a final message to the families. You know, school's gonna start in just a couple of days. And I think it's nice for them to just hear directly from our staff. You know, what's your big message to them? What do you wanna tell them? What do you want them to take away from today? So with that, I'll pass it over. I'll get out of this chair and then you'll come and share your wisdom with them.
I'm next? Oh my
You're
goodness. Just my
And you
final
can
message?
do that as part of your, yeah.
We've got this. We are so invested in the success of your students. We want the best for your students, and anything that our staff can do to assist you, support you, we are here for you. And I speak on behalf of all the teachers at our school. We are working hard to try and make this an experience that no one loses out.
Excellent. I'd have to say, do you want to go next?
Do we want to answer this first? or-
Yes, okay,
Just
so we
we
did
don't
have a
forget.
question just to answer this. So we have, our question was ideas to keep students focused on task. This particular household has older students with a younger sibling. So I think this is gonna be the challenge for everybody. Supervision is a challenge across the board. And, you know, it's just know that you are not the only one that may struggle with this, and we understand we're gonna help you. I think just shooting from the hip here, I think if you have like a progress chart, you can, like a little card, and if they check off they did their whole group and they get it, the older sibling can, you know, get a star, put a star down or a smiley face, or as they accomplish little tasks. Because we're trying to train these folks, our little ones, to focus, and this is all something new for the most part, you know. And so I think if they have little things that they can check off, and a little reward system that, you know, they're accomplishing things, and that you're following up also, that you're going to be checking in Google Classroom, and you're going into Infinite Campus, and, you know, I see that you were logged into Footsteps to Brilliance, but it wasn't the 20 minutes that we're requiring. So it's really gonna take a lot. There's a lot you can do without being there by their side. Did you have something?
Yeah, just some of the ideas that we discussed today as a staff. I've heard teachers talking about really that first week we're building relationships with these students that haven't met in person. It's a whole new thing for us too. But one of the things that came up for us is just having some fun with creating a learning space for each individual student, even if that means taking a sheet and making like a little area, a little fort. Making it fun, decorating it, putting whatever they want, so they look forward to going to that place every day, and knowing that that's a place where something different happens than in the rest of the house, so they can take ownership of that learning space and work with your teachers. Your teachers, believe me, we want to make it have some incentive for each of the students to be successful and complete their work too. So let's work together. We can do this together.
Absolutely, and so I spoke of the folks that will be monitoring, and that we're repurposing. Our yard duties are gonna have different duties and whatnot. So we'll be deploying those in different avenues, and, you know, when we see that a child is not logging on consistently, or is, when we take attendance, they're there in the morning but not in the afternoon. There's going to be outreach, and it's not going to be a gotcha, it's gonna be how can we help you? And, you know, what is the struggle? And let's work through this together. So, very good. So that kind of goes to my quote. It's a little goofy. You probably have heard it before. But, you know, I think forgiveness is going to be the top of the list. Like, let's understand that nobody's ever been here before. And so forgiveness and understanding and empathy is important. So my quote that I want to, my message is, we may not have it all together, but together we have it all.
I just want to end with what has been already been said is that we're here for you. We definitely want to help our students. We definitely want to make sure that they are okay and they're being successful. And without a doubt, we are here, and please reach out to us.
Definitely. Okay, well, I don't see the phone ringing. I hope that we've answered your questions.
You could just stay here and just keep talking.
Oh, great, we'll just keep going on and on
On
and
Start doing
on.
the New York accent with coffee talk.
Well, I was told, Mr. Ward told me that I had to sing a song, so.
Yeah, we're gonna lose all the viewers.
Right, everyone's all, ta-da. Oh, goodness. All right, well, there's plenty of information on our website. Please call, text, message, go email us if you have any questions, any suggestions. We're open. It's an open door thing. And please check those social media posts for up to the minute, because things are changing by the minute. So for any up to the minute information, be sure to check our social media and our website. We've got an amazing library media specialist who is on it. So before I finish the sentence, she's already posted. So, all right. Well, I thank everybody for being here out of the kindness of their own heart, despite the road construction, and making it here on time. I appreciate Superintendent Ochoa and the man in the background, Brandon Johnson, for making this all happen. I asked him to put on the filter for, butterflies and unicorns, so I'm just picturing myself right now like, oh, this is great. All right, everyone. Thank you. Go Sharks!